Good evening, Falcon fans. It's that time of year, a new year for Falcon soccer, as the BGSU women's soccer team plays their home opener against the Crusaders of Valparaiso, or Valpo as we're going to call them. I'm Chip Crenna. Joining me for tonight's game is Brandon Lowe. We want to welcome you to Cochrane Stadium and the new season for Falcon women's soccer. This is all brought to you by the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization on Mixlr and on YouTube, presented by WBGU-TV. Let's get into some pregame notes. First, for the visiting Valpo Crusaders, Brandon, take it away.
The man at the helm of the Crusaders is John Marovic, the 2014 Horizon League Coach of the Year, who is in his 12th season with the Crusaders. Valpo dropped its first two games this season against opponents Green Bay and Oakland, both by a score of 1-0. Valpo brought in 8 true freshmen this season, and 5 out of 8 saw their names land in the starting lineup on opening weekend. Valpo has only one goal scorer remaining from last year's team, Julia Lennon. She is complemented by returning veterans Morgan Metzger, who made the Missouri Valley Conference All-Freshman team a season ago, and senior Allie Quillen, who has consecutive minute streaks sitting at 2,225, which dates back to September 28, 2017.
And now for the Falcons, who are led by two-time MAC Coach of the Year in Matt Fannin, who is with a brand new contract extension with the program. Matt has meant a lot to the program and has turned them into contenders after only 2 complete years at the helm of the women's soccer team here. The Falcons did lose the second leading goal scorer in Falcon history to graduation last spring in Erica Hubert, but did retain 3 key Falcons that were named to the All-MAC first team last year. And we got to step aside right now for the national anthem, which is a live national anthem, and we'll be right back with more Bowling Green soccer pregame, brought to you by the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization and WBGU-TV. And welcome back here, as we'll get right back into the pregame action here. One of those, so the Falcons did retain 3 key members from the All-MAC first team last year, one of them being Kathleen Duvey, who enters the season as the #1 goalie on the depth chart. And so far, she has dipped a little after allowing 5 goals in her first 2 games this year, but I do expect for her to return to form at Cochrane Stadium tonight. Another one of those members being Chelsea Washington was another MAC All-First Team member last year and returned, but struggled last game against Xavier as the Falcons fell 2-1, and she was held without a goal and or an assist. And that third and final member is none other than Maureen the Assist Machine Kennedy. She has yet to pick up an assist this year, but was honored in the top 100 college players to watch this year as she holds the number 91 spot. I expect all 3 of these Falcon players to come back into the spotlight tonight and help the Falcons to a win. Now for the starting lineups. First for the Valpo Crusaders, Brandon.
First will be the goalkeeper, number 0, Georgia Henkel. Then will be number 11, Katie Hansen, followed by number 4, Addie Johnson, number 25, Allie Quillen, number 26, Maria Broker, number 27, Morgan Metzger, number 11, Emily Angler, number 19, Emily Angler, number 2, Natalie Graff, number 7, Kylie Dugan, number 16, Nicole Norfolk, and your lineup is rounded out by number 31, Madison Tuma.
And now for your Bowling Green State University Falcons. They are led in goal by none other than number 33, Kathleen Duvee. On defense, number 26, like I mentioned, this Marine, the assist machine, Kennedy. Also joining here on defense today is number 6, inserted into the starting lineup due to some injury concerns, is Zoe Hudson. In the midfield, you have Alexis Miller, Mackenzie Ruber, Sophia Barnes, Nikita Jacob, and Chelsea Washington. And up top, you have both the Cox sisters, Nikki Cox and Katie Cox. Katie Cox getting the start tonight, and as well as Kennedy White to round out the Falcon 11. Falcons will be to the going left to right across your radio dial tonight, as Valpo will be going right to left in this first half. It does look like Valpo will get the first half kickoff, as the Falcons then will get the second half. As just waiting on official word from the referee. She looks at her watch, blows whistle, and we're underway, and the Falcon season is underway. As that ball is going to be hit into the left corner, to our left, off of a Valpo player. Good play there by Mackenzie Ruber. And the Falcons will have a throw-in their own territory. And Zoe Hudson will try to get this ball up to Kennedy White, and the ball will stay in play, but it will actually be out of bounds. Throw-in for Valpo. And headed right back out of bounds by Ruber, as the throw-in will just keep moving up the line for Valpo, as the Falcons setting up their defense. Up top in the middle, you have Nikki Cox in the middle up top, and Ruber tries to get it up to White. Chelsea Washington gets it over to the open space to Katie Cox. Cox is going to look back to Jacob. Jacob's going to look over to in the left side. I believe that's Maureen Kennedy. And they're going to get it back to Jacobs in the center, and they'll drop it all the way back to Duvee. Falcons playing a possession game here early on. Minute into the game, nothing to score between the Crusaders and the Falcons. As Hudson's going to turn this ball over, and it looks like Katie Cox is going to get to that, and she's going to be fell down. No call on the play, and her sister almost got back to that ball. Washington's trying to get body position, doesn't get it, and then she will get the ball back, and the referee's going to say play on. Jacob gets it to Miller, who's normally up top, but she's playing back today. Ruber's going to get this ball up to White for the Falcons. And Valpo will get possession and a turnover, as Katie Cox has some space, looks for her sister Nikki, and she's going to be offsides. And if it wasn't offsides, that would have been a clear shot goal for the Falcons.
Nice possession and nice pass there by Katie Cox up to her sister Nikki on that one.
And it will be the goalie for the Crusaders in Henkel will come out of the box a little, as the offsides kick will happen right at the top of the 18. Ball's delivered in the air, and first to it is ahead of Sophie Barnes, who fell down, and the Falcons get possession. And it's going to be Zoe Hudson manning the middle for the Falcons this evening, as outside to Ruber. Ruber, nice inside cut. Washington calling for it. Ruber's going to hold on to it and turn the ball over. But it'll be a throw-in for Bowling Green halfway into Valpo territory. And it turned over as Ruber threw it into, I believe that was Nikki Cox. And then that ball went out of bounds. Valpo throw-in. Headed right back down deep into Valpo territory. It will be another Valpo throw-in. And the throw by Valpo goes off of a Falcon head. And Washington gets the ball. Washington at the top of the 18. And the Valpo Crusaders collapse her and get the ball out. But it's going to be a good play by Alexis Miller to get that ball back. And she'll reset as Maureen Kennedy gets it in Falcon zone. And she's going to boot this ball up. Looks for Ruber. Ruber's onside. And is she going to get to this? She's going to have a chance to cross this ball in. She crosses it in right to a Crusader, but intercepted. Nikki Cox blocked in the box, and it'll be cleared by the Crusaders. Miller over to Barnes on the left. And Kennedy's going to get this ball back in, blocked. And Valpo could go on a counterattack here. A good stop there by Jacob to slow that counterattack down. And the Falcons will get possession back. And that's Jacob on the far side. Kennedy's going to slow pace down here. And they're going to send it up in the middle to Alexis Miller. Ruber's calling for it. She's got space on the right, on the near side here. And Miller's going to get this ball up on the left side. Good ball delivered to Sophie Barnes. Valpo playing one-sided here as they only are playing to one side of the field, and it'll be a goal kick as Barnes put a little too much on that ball for White.
Yeah, as you just mentioned, the Falcons putting some heavy pressure on the Crusaders' defense early on in this one.
40 minutes left in the first half, so 5 minutes in, no score, no shots on goal yet for either side. And the goal kick was a little turned over there, and the Falcons almost create a turnover but do not get it. Finally, they will get it, and it's going to end up on Alexis Miller. Back to Zoe Hudson. Hudson's going to get this ball quickly to Cox, who then turned it right over. But her hard work and effort creates another turnover. I'm saying the word turnover too much here. And it's going to end up on Ruber's foot. Ruber's going to get it in the middle. Middle to Cox. Nikki Cox, that is. Cox shielding the ball pretty well here. She's going to get to the outside, use her body, stops, pulls up, crosses it, and it's going to end up as a goal kick, as that was Katie Cox, her sister, with the shot off goal. Falcons wanting a corner kick, but they won't get it. It'll be a goal kick for the Crusaders. That's a decent-sized crowd here. The kick's up. It's going to be headed back to Washington. Heads it right back to the goalie. And it's going to be a foul on Nikki Cox. As she was trying to get around the Valpo player, but couldn't. And Valpo free kick. It'll be a throw-in as Alexis Miller played that ball from out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for Valpo around midfield. And Valpo's got a chance here as they misjudge it. Zoe Hudson's going to get that ball back for the Falcons. It'll be a Falcon throw-in deep into their own territory.
The Crusaders finally had some momentum going there, getting the ball to the other side of the field, but they couldn't capitalize as Bowling Green regains possession off the turnover. The throw-in is back to Zoe Hudson. Up to Nikki to Jacob. Turnover, Valparaiso gains possession. Jacob gets the ball back. Takes it upfield, passes up to the younger sister, Katie Cox, who finds Chelsea Washington in the middle. Washington breaks forward, passes to Kennedy White.
A good idea there by the Falcons is they got a string of passes going unsuccessfully there. Kennedy's going to get this ball at midfield. She's going to get this ball right in the middle to Washington. And that's her sweet spot. Give her some space, and she's got it all. And that gives it to Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox, the top of the 18. No one's around her for the Falcons, and she'll retreat possession game here for the Falcons. Ruber calling on the outside. No one's on her on the near side as Kennedy's going to try to get this ball in, and they're going to get it, and it's going to go sail right into the goalie's hands. And the punt's off. It's going to be short off of a Valpo player and out of bounds off of Barnes, so it'll be a throw-in for the Crusaders. Falcons are doing a good job of crowding that ball, getting to that ball, pressuring that ball on defense. And it'll be a foul believe that's Barnes on the far side. So it'll be a free kick right at midfield for the Valpo Crusaders. And that kick's going to get into the 18, headed away by Jacob, right to Katie Cox, who's going to turn, and she's going to get tripped or fell down. Nothing called as Hudson's going to get it to Miller, back to Kennedy. Falcons will reset with possession. Miller over to Ruber. Ruber on the right foot gets it to White. White with that tall stature. Reminds me a little of Skylar Fleek a couple years ago, as she will get that ball right outside on Sophia Barnes' foot. She's going to look back to the middle for Jacob. Ruber calling for it on the right side. Miller's going to get this ball up, and she's going to look for Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox, if she can get to that ball, she may be fine, and she's going to get to it. And they're going to call a penalty kick for the Falcons, and you know who's taking that. That's going to be Maureen Kennedy. As she knew it right away, she just started jogging up there. And for those who don't know, Maureen Kennedy, I think, is 4 for 4 in her last 4 attempts for the Falcons. She's 1 for 1 this year. She's really good at picking those corners. She normally goes right corner. I'm guessing right corner. There's my guess. I was wrong, but it's going to be left corner and in the goal anyways, as she follows up the shot. And that's a goal for the Falcons. Maureen Kennedy off the PK save.
Nice follow in there by Kennedy to go after her own rebound and the goal.
Yeah, so that'll be 2 shots on goal. One of them goes in. Falcons 10 minutes in take a 1-0 lead. And some t-shirts thrown out by the Screech team, the marketing team here for the Falcons. And I was wrong. I knew she would go for a corner, but I didn't know which one.
You gave it the old announcer's jinx, the 4 for 4 that really did it. She was able to convert anyway, and that puts BG up by a score of 1-0.
And it'll be a Bowling Green throw-in right at their 18-yard line on the far side. And the Falcons getting their bench warmed up. And Doovies hasn't seen any action yet, as Valpo coming into the season, or the game, 0-2-0 on the season. Falcons 0-1-1. And Washington's going to get this ball out of the scrum, and you know what she can do. She can give her space, and she's trouble. White almost gets to that ball before, but a Valpo Crusader got there first. And Ruber's going to come in out of nowhere, get that ball to Washington. Washington's going to set up Nikki Cox on the outside. Cox is going to settle that ball in, and she's going to be fouled hard. And they're going to rule a goal kick or corner kick for the Falcons. And Maureen Kennedy, of course, taking that corner kick as well. The ball delivered by Washington on that last play, just a little too much as I'm watching the replay here. And you're going to look maybe to the top of the box. You have some Falcons wide open. And then you got some height there with White in the box as Kennedy's going to deliver this ball, and it's just going to go out of play anyways. No chance for a header on that. 33:40 left in the first half. Falcons lead 1-0 off the failed penalty kick rebound score, is what I'm going to call it.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
And therefore, now it's a goal kick for the Crusaders. And that ball is going to be up, and it's going to be headed right to Chelsea Washington. And Washington is one of those players, I've mentioned this multiple times already. You don't want to give her space. She can hurt you if you give her space. And same thing with Alexis Miller with crossing, and she's going to get that ball over to Ruber. Ruber's going to try to save this, and she will, to Cox. Good job by Mackenzie Ruber. She's going to cross this ball back in. Barnes at the top of the box, misplayed it, and the Crusaders got a chance for a counterattack here. 4-on-7. You got one streaking on the far left side. Ruber trying to get back, and that ball's going to be delivered. And Duvey's going to have to get to that ball first, and she will. Falcons regain possession. That was, I'd say, the first real opportunity for Valpo. Go ahead.
Absolutely, but on that last offensive possession, credit to Mackenzie Ruber for digging that one out and finishing that play.
Yeah, it's going to be Washington heads it right to a Crusader who's going to give it right back to her. And that's what you don't want to do. You can't give turnovers right to Washington. Washington's going to set up White on the outside. White's going to cross this ball in over the goal. Looked good, didn't feel good, and it wasn't good. And an update on other Bowling Green sports. Bowling Green volleyball winning their first regular season match of the season, beating Wright State 3-1 in the right way, not the wrong way. And Bowling Green men's soccer visiting Duquesne in Pittsburgh. They lead 1-0 early after a goal in the 7th minute by Chris Sullivan. Falcons up 1-0 in both soccer matches. And it's going to be another turnover here by Valpo. And Falcons just going to play possession game here. Something that I saw pregame that I've never seen before is Matt Fannin doing pregame activities with his players. I haven't seen that in the 2 years that I've been here. Something interesting. And Ruber's going to get fouled. And it'll be a free kick for the Falcons. And it looks like Maureen Kennedy's going to come and take this kick. Might be Washington. No, it's going to be Kennedy. She may look to Washington to dump. It wouldn't be a bad idea if you give Washington space. You know what she can do. But they're all going to line up at the top of the 18 as Valpo holds that line, like I mentioned, at the 18-yard box. Kennedy can get this in. It's going to be a direct kick. And she's going to deliver this perfectly into the box. It'll be punched out by the goalie. Right to Ruber, and she's going to sky this ball, almost hitting the photographer. And it'll be a goal kick for Valpo.
Another good opportunity there for the Falcons. Maureen Kennedy put that ball in a good spot. They just were not able to convert.
Yeah. Part of it is, I don't really know. That's a good point. That's a good point. So that ball will be delivered and it'll be turned right to White. White to Ruber, and Miller's going to cross this in. Cox to Cox. And Cox is going to be tripped, but nothing called. And it's going to end up right to Washington, and Washington's going to mispass it over to Barnes, who's got two Crusaders on her back. And that ball's going to stay in. Jacobs and get it to Miller. Miller's got time. She can either go to Ruber on the outside, and she will. Ruber's going to try to get that ball down, can't control it or corral it. It'll be a Valpo throw-in. I'd say decent crowd here for opening night. Close to 250, I'd say. Close enough. More than you normally see at a regular season game here. And the Falcons really playing this big possession game. And they're going to work to Washington in the middle. She's fouled a little. Good job by number 31 for Valpo in Tuma to let Washington not get through, and counterattack possibility coming for Valpo. And they've got numbers. They got 3-on-4, and into the box they go. Cut in, a nice cut, pulled back down, and Duvey's going to save it, but it's going to be a corner kick for Valpo.
The ball into the zone there for basically the second time we've seen all game, and now they're going to have a good opportunity here coming off this corner kick.
You just gotta you do this whenever you, and the Falcons will get it out, and it's gonna be, looks like Barnes all the way on the right side tried to find Ruber. Ruber couldn't get to it. And good turn there by Tuma. And Valpo's got something cooking here. Kennedy's just going to clear this ball out right back to Valpo. And right back to Tuma. Tuma's going to deliver this ball in. Cleared again by Kennedy. Kennedy looking for Katie Cox. Couldn't get her head on it. Right to Nikki. Back to Katie. Turned over. And Katie does not win that foot challenge. And another turnover for the Falcons. Valpo controlling the ball right now in the last 30 seconds. And it's just going to be brought in, and Duvy's going to get this ball and pick it up eventually once someone pressures her. Just waste some time, calm everyone down. She'll get it over to Hudson on the near side. Hudson, the sophomore. As Miller will just give it right back to Duvy. And Duvy will turn it over to Valpo. Jacob, good job. Nice tackle there. Barnes tried to slide, get that ball back. Jacobs gets it back. Finds Katie Cox, who's tripped and fouled. Pretty hard foul. It was cleat on calf, I would say.
That did not look great.
And it looks like we're going to get some subs coming for Valpo at the next whistle. Of course, in women's soccer and college women's soccer, you can make on-the-fly subs. So you can make as many subs as you want during the game of play. And it's going to get to Washington in the center. She's going to drop back to Miller. Miller saw Ruber on the right, but looks on the left, and it'll be headed. Good idea. I couldn't see who that header. That looks like Katie Cox on the left, on the far side, with the header, and it will go wide out of play. So out is Engler, in is Lennon for the Crusaders.
As I mentioned, Lennon the only goal scorer remaining from last year's team, so we'll see if she can provide some offense here for the Crusaders.
Washington trying to get this ball, creates the turnover, finds Miller to White. White pushed down, no foul called. And Valpo's going to get this. Miller's going to get it back and get it to Kennedy. Kennedy waiting for pressure, finds Jacob to Miller. Miller to Hudson. Hudson looks up. She's going to get this ball up and try to find White. It'll just be kicked out of play. A throw-in for the Falcons. Ruber to Hudson. Hudson a little sloppy on that ball control there, but Ruber's going to get it for the throw-in. Quick throw into White. White's going to turn, get through one defender. White pulls, tries to find Ruber, gets it back to Miller. Miller now on the far side for Jacob. And Kennedy back to Hudson. Hudson to Washington. Washington juked out one defender. Tries to find Ruber. And it will go right to Alexis Miller, who's going to get the ball blocked. But right to Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox on her right foot. She's dangerous on either foot, but turns it over to Tuma for the Crusaders, and it'll be a foul called, I believe, on Alexis Miller. And kick as the Falcons starting to back up here. Valpo's kick up in the air. And it'll be down. Jacobs is going to try to get that ball. Good ball control there by Valpo. Turned over right to Cox. Washington's got space. You don't want to give her space. And finds Katie Cox on the far side. Katie Cox looking for help here. Finds it in Nikita Jacobs in the back. Gets it to Hudson. Now to Kennedy on the far side. Kennedy to Miller. Miller to Hudson. Lot of ball control. Soccer is one of those sports where scoring doesn't happen a lot, and ball control is what mostly happens. And a lot of the times it's off of turnovers. And this ball is going to be delivered to Barnes. Barnes on the outside is going to try to force a corner kick, and she will. Good job there by Sophia Barnes to create that corner kick opportunity. And since it's on the left side, it looks like Alexis Miller will be taking the far side. Alexis Miller to be taking the corner kick.
Big opportunity here for the Falcons to capitalize. Already up 1-0.
Bowling Green's second corner kick of the night. There's some fellow Falcon athletes in the crowd. I see some volleyball members that did not make the trip. And I believe the Valpo goalie just took out one of her own players on that play as the Valpo goalie pushed it back out of bounds. Another corner kick for Bowling Green, their third. And Miller's arms up in the air. Kick it in the air. Ooh, that's a nice kick. It'll be headed up and stays in play. Ruber trying to get that ball back, and it's still in the box. Falcons could try to draw a foul here, and the ball's just skimmering out, and they'll get possession. Miller's going to ham this ball, and it's going to be deflected off of a Valpo player, and it'll be a corner kick for the Falcons.
Good pressure there by the BG offense to keep possession of the ball, even if they're not being able to convert on the first and second goal or corner kick opportunity.
And it's going to be Alexis Miller taking this kick, I believe. Yes, it will be. As Kennedy's looks like she's in the box with her height. Miller's kick low a little. It'll be headed out of play. And it'll be a goal kick this time. Falcons get 3 corner kicks, but no goals. And the Falcons making a sub here as it looks like Sarah Allen will check in for White, and Katie Cox will check out for Ruby Linton. Sarah Allen, all freshman team is Washington Ruber. Ruber's going to cross this ball in, but as she falls down, headed right back to Ruber. And she's going to too much on that. That's going to go, whoo, boink, out of play, out of the stadium.
Goodbye, ball.
And it'll be a goal kick for the Crusaders. And the goal kick is up. It'll be headed right down by Linton off of her head. It'll be a Valpo throw-in. And the throw-in's going to go down the line. And it'll be off of a Valpo player. Ruber's going to take the throw-in now right at midfield.
Gets it into Sarah Allen.
Allen trying to get some fancy footwork. A good tackle there by Alexis Miller. And it looks like a foul called on Valpo. Will be a free kick. Kennedy will take it as it's just past the half circle on the side of Valpo. Voice crack there.
Happens to the best of us.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does happen to the best of us. And Kennedy's going to get this ball in pretty well. It's going to be headed out of play for a corner kick. And it was headed out of play, and it'll be Alexis Miller coming to take the kick, the sophomore. And it looks like we got another sub coming in. Looks like Ruber's checking out for number 11, Kristen Tveit. And taking the kick, Alexis Miller sees Tveit top of the box, but she's going to deliver this back of the post. It'll be off of a Falcon last, apparently, for a goal kick.
It looked like Chelsea Washington did get a piece of that, but it went off another head after she made initial contact.
sub. Can you just call it up? Okay, we didn't hear it. It didn't come through, so that's fine.
And goal kick. It'll be out of play, kicked out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for the Falcons. Another substitution. Number 25 in Mackenzie Ortman, the freshman out of Sylvania, Ohio, will take Alexis Miller's spot on the back end. And Allen falling down, gets the ball to Jacob. Jacob to Washington. Washington on the far side to Veit. To Veit on her left foot. She's going to deliver the shot. As she was tackled while taking the shot, she almost fell down. Tvite's going to get the ball back, though. Off of a Valpo player. Good individual effort there by Tvite.
Great footwork there by Tvite.
And right to Linton, who's going to run right into a Valpo Crusader. And a nice give and go, but turned right to Hudson. Hudson gets it back. Linton is tackled. And Linton, a hard foul there. As she got her warning there. And headed down by Washington as she timed her jump really well to Veit. Right to Ortman. And Tvite's going to get this ball in. Try to get it to Sarah Allen. And she might be able to get to this. But it's going to get to the goalie first, and it will go out of play for a deep throw-in in the Falcons' offensive zone. 15:40 left in the first half. Falcons only up 1-0. I say only. They've dominated play here in the first half. And it's going to be offsides on Bowling Green as they got the throw-in. There is no offsides on throw-ins, but after you pass the ball from a throw-in, Tvite was offsides. Yeah, I said that right. Tvite. Pre-game, I was having some trouble getting that name pronounced correctly, and a foul looked like a hard foul there. Nothing called, and Barnes will get it to Kennedy. Barnes didn't put enough oomph on it. And the ball ends up going to Washington. Washington, if the referee hadn't blown the whistle. And it's going to go back to Washington, who's going to get it to Hudson. Hudson's going to look to Tvite on the outside. Tvite's going to go down the line to Ortman. Ortman's going to get it back to Tvite off of a Valpo player. Throw in BG. Tvite looks short to Jacob. Back to Tvite in the middle now for Ortman. Ortman's looking for Allen, but finds Washington instead. Washington is going to get it down to Tvite. Tvite missed touch there. Saves it, but it won't be saved in time. Goal kick for the Crusaders. And another substitution. 2 substitutions, both for the Crusaders. Coming shortly. And goal kick coming for the Crusaders as the ball's up, and Tvite foul called. She definitely got her elbow into the Crusader back and into Tuma's back. The 5'7" freshman out of Rochester, Minnesota, for Valpo. And Barnes, good job of reading that free kick, and it will end up on Tvite. Another voice crack there, wasn't that? That was another voice crack. Hudson's got to get this out. She's going to find Duvey, and Duvey's going to get this high in the air to Jacob, who's going to directional head it, right to a Valpo player, and it's going to be intercepted by Tvite. Tvite trying to find Ruby Linton, and Linton just didn't check to that ball. And that's might be an injury there as Tuma gets up. She seems okay. Washington tries to get it to Barnes. Barnes will get it. And it will be delivered. Allen's going to try to get to this ball. Looks like Valpo's going to get there first. And it'll be a throw-in for Bowling Green. Good job there by Sarah Allen to apply the pressure on the Crusader. And it looks like I can't tell who that is on the far side. It was Ortman on the far side. She tried to find Washington. And it'll be Valpo with possession now as they have a 4 flat back. And it looks like we're going to have a Bowling Green substitution coming soon. Hannah Dolphus, the 5'4" senior out of Fort Wayne, will be checking in for Sophie Barnes. And 2 substitutions for the Crusaders as well. And they're going to call a foul there on Dolphus. Just checked into the game. And the kick delivered, headed in the air, and this could be trouble for the Falcons as they try to get it out, and Tvite's going to beat the Crusader on the outside. She's going to try to get back. She pulls back, finds Hudson. Hudson's going to get past one defender, find Washington, who turned it over. Counterattack for the Crusaders, and she's going to whiff, it looked like. She is a little slow to get up, is number 4 for the Crusaders in Johnson. And Linton can't get to that ball. 10:40 left in the first half. Falcons up 1-0. And looks like we have an injury on number 4, Addie Johnson, the senior midfielder out of Rockford, Ohio, or Rockford, Illinois. Is there Rockford, Ohio?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. That's just an injury substitution as clock stops at 10:38.
So that will bring in number 23, Kiera Pratt.
Kiera Pratt, the redshirt sophomore. A lot of this team is either 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", or 5'5". Then you got a couple 5'8s in there for the Valpo Crusaders. And Nikki Cox checking out for Lindsay Spots, number 23 for the Falcons. And they're just going to kick the ball back to the goalie. And for Valpo, the sportsmanlike thing I'd say to do. And the punt's up in the air, headed first touch there by Valpo. Gotten back down, it'll be an errant pass by number 27 for Valpo, Morgan Metzger. And it'll be a Falcon throw-in. Jacob gets the ball right to Allen. Allen pulls back, may look, dribbles through instead, and she's going to maintain the ball, keep it inbounds, but they're going to say out of bounds off of her for a Valpo throw-in. And the throw-in will be turned over. Allen thought about going quickly to Dolphus, but to Vite. And Jacobs takes a hard foul. Nothing called. Washington back on that defensive mode now. And Kennedy jumps into the attack here. And she's going to try to cross this in, but it's going to be turned over. Jacobs will get to that ball before it goes out of play. Falcons maintain possession. Hudson finds Kennedy, and they're going to look to bomb it down as Kennedy will bomb it all the way on the outside. And it'll be some nice passing there by the Falcons and turned over in the end of it. Kennedy gets to it, turns it over again. Washington gets the ball back, and she's got space. You don't want to give her space. She's going to get the ball. It's deflected, and Crusaders will get the ball, but it'll go out of play. Falcon throw in midway into Crusader territory. And it'll be another throw in, this time for Valpo. And Washington heads first, finds Allen. Allen back to Washington, and she's fouled hard. And that foul will be called on Tahila Noel, the redshirt junior out of Buffalo, for the Crusaders. So free kick for the Falcons. Kennedy asks for 10, and the 10 yards is going to be inside the box. So decent opportunity here coming for the Falcons. And Kennedy's kick is low, and it goes through. And Tveit will try to find it, gets it back to Kennedy. Kennedy delivers it back in, blocked by Linton. Dolphus gets it outside to Tveit. And Tveit's going to let this ball go. It'll be a throw-in for the Falcons. They're going to say it's actually a Valpo throw-in, really deep in their own territory. I don't think you can get any deeper than that. Seven minutes left in the first half. Falcons up 1-0. Turned over. It'll be Tveit to Jacobs to Washington, who's got someone on her back. She doesn't know it, but Washington gets it, evades her. Shot blocked. And it's going to go back to Tveit to Washington, and she's going to get fouled really hard. And that could be no card coming, as she maybe tried to sell a card there, but didn't get it. It'll be a big opportunity here, as this is going to be a direct free kick for the Falcons. And it's going to be Maureen Kennedy. She's going to have to ask for 10, and she will. As four-woman wall for the Valpo Crusaders.
Good opportunity here coming for the Falcons.
And the Falcons could be getting a goal here as Jacobs tries to slide in. And, oh, so close. Oh, so close. From our angle, it looked like it was a goal.
I think it brushed the top.
Or, yeah, it must have brushed something. Because it looked pretty. It looked pretty for sure. Let's see on this replay coming. If we can get this in time. Yeah, just brazed over the net. And it'll be headed. Falcons called for the foul there as Washington got her head on it first, but I guess pushed in the back to get more height on that. And Valpo, 5:18 left in the first half. Falcons up 1-0 on the Kennedy goal. And Falcons got 4-on-4 coming. They've got numbers in soccer. And Linton gonna find Dolphus. Dolphus over to Allen. Allen's got space. 3-on-1 now. Allen's gonna shoot right into the goalie. Can't get any prettier than that. And Valpo will get this ball up quickly as it's gonna get through and out of play. Throw in for the Falcons right at midfield. And off of a Valpo player, throwing Falcons. 4:30 left in the first half. Falcons throw in right to Allen. Turns it over, finds Jacob. And Allen has got the ball. She's got one-on-one on the outside. Allen trying to get around her, and she won't. It'll be a goal kick for Valpo. And the Valpo Valpo goal kick coming. And the goal kick's up. And headed down by the Falcons, right to Sarah Allen. Allen is going to get this ball, tries to find it, shoves someone down. It'll be a foul call on Sarah Allen and the Falcons. The Falcons really trying to end this half well. 3 minutes left in the first half. And they don't want to give Washington space, and she's got space. Washington is going to try to take this all the way, and a good stop there, but Dolphus picks it right up. Dolphus back to Jacob, man on, but you could hear him calling from the stands. And it'll be turned over, gotten back to Kennedy. 2:35 left in the first half. Falcons up 1-0. Chip Crennan, Brandon Lowe on the call here, and Tavite is going to get it back to Washington. Washington's going to look back to Hudson. Hudson's going to chip this ball up into out of play for a not a free throw, a throw-in. A free throw is in basketball.
We just got our kicks and our throws confused. It's all right.
And it'll be a Falcon throw-in. And it'll be Dolphus off of her leg. Tries to find Linton, but will go nutmeg on a defender instead. Finds, I believe that's Kennedy on the outside, into the box, and that's a hard, they're going to say play on. And that was a hard foul, I believe, on Linton. It's numbers for the Crusaders, 3-on-3. And they've got it pushed. Zoe Hudson's going to try to cut this off, and she will. Great play there by defender Zoe Hudson for the Falcons. Hudson's going to get this ball off, and she's going to get it to Ruber. Ruber's going to get it back to Hudson. Hudson's going to slow pace down. Finds Washington. Washington's got time. She's going to try to find Dolphus. Can't find her. 1:15 left. And the ball's going to be delivered. And Sarah Allen's going to try to get this ball. She's got to play a little softer. She's playing a little rough out there. And over to Allen. Allen on the outside. Allen tries to get around one. Can't. And she'll get the ball back. Finds Dolphus, but up top it's Linton and this Washington calling for it at the top. And 40 seconds left. Crossed into Washington. Washington can corral it. And, a big hard play there by Tavite. It'll be a throw-in for the Valpo Crusaders. His time's running out 20 seconds. Looks like they just need to clear this ball and clear it out. Reset at the half. Falcons going to try to maintain this lead here with 15 seconds. And Valpo is going to get this. Kennedy's going to try it for last ditch ever. 8 seconds, 7. She's going all in. And she'll find Allen. It's not going to be enough time. And there goes the buzzer. And that's half. We will step aside for a quick break. You are listening to Bowling Green Women's Soccer right here on Mixlr, presented by the Bowling Green Sports Association, and on YouTube, presented by WBGU-TV.
Victor sending shoestring contest. Hey, fans, don't forget to join us at Falcon Lane at Homecoming on September 14th. We score over 20 featured points of interest. Falcon Lane is a fun self-gathered tour for Falcons of all ages. Just a reminder, fans, when your Falcons score a goal during the game, be on the lookout for free t-shirts from the BGSU sweepstakes. Also, again, as a reminder that as a part of you tonight, the team will be signing autographs following the game, so make sure you stop over at the marketing kiosk, pick up a poster, ladies sign the poster following tonight's game. And we would like to thank all the youngsters that are serving as volunteers for tonight. We appreciate your support.
Seems like
All right, so we're back here getting ready for the second half of the Bowling Green Falcons versus the Valpo Crusaders. And just to wrap up the first half for you, give you a little analysis on the first half, the score really doesn't tell the story as Bowling Green put on heavy pressure for most of the half. They're only up 1-0, but again, that really does not tell the story as there were a lot of hustle plays that led to a lot of good opportunities for the Falcons. However, they just could not convert.
Yes, I would agree with that. The Falcons really, they put 12 shots on net. Only 3 of them counted as on goal. Valpo has no shots at all. Not even on goal, not even taken. No shots. Falcons have 12. It just shows the complete dominance of this game by the Falcons.
Yeah, I agree. And one player that you said at the beginning of this game was going to make an impact you felt was Maureen Kennedy. And she did that following her penalty kick opportunity, getting her own rebound, putting that in the net. And she had a couple good kicks as well from the corner and from free kick. She's had a lot of great opportunities.
Yes, she has. And thank you, Mom, for helping us out here. My mom's been texting me back and forth. Parents are the saviors sometimes of broadcasts. So big shout out there. Chelsea Washington also 3 shots, none on goal. Only the 3 shots on goal. 2 have come from Kennedy's. Her penalty kick counted as 1, and then the goal on the rebound shot counted as another. And then Sarah Allen got another shot on goal. But that oh-so-close moment by Maureen Kennedy was oh-so close as we had to go back to the replay. It barely trimmed the net, I'd say. It skimmed the net, actually. Not trimmed, skimmed it.
And a lot of people up here in the booth where we were standing thought it might have been a goal. So, again, we did have to go back to the replay to look at that. It was very close.
Yeah. So going into that, Falcons will have the kick to start the second half as the Falcons will be going from right to left across your radio dial. Valpo left to right on the radio dial for those who need a visual if you're not watching the YouTube. And looks like the Falcons will bring out Duvey with Washington, Cox, Jacob, Barnes, Allen, or Miller, Kennedy, and Hudson.
I believe
it's the starting lineup,
yeah.
But Ruber, I saw Ruber in there. And I think it's Ruber for Barnes, maybe. So I'm looking here. No, Barnes is in. It's Ruber. It's up top. You got Cox, and White. Hudson and who's missing? Let's see here. So you got. This is hard. Ruber did start. Ruber did start. That's my bad. I kept thinking she didn't start. But Nikki Cox on the kickoff gets it to Washington to Barnes to Hudson. And we're underway here in the second half. 10 seconds in, 1-0 Falcons as they lead. Turned over. Falcons got a chance here. White to Nikki Cox, who's going to deliver this ball right into the goalie's arms. And that'll be a shot on goal, it looked like.
Yeah, that was a shot on goal.
Shot on goal, the 4th shot on goal for the Falcons. Corner kicks, Falcons had 4 in the span of 2 minutes in the first half. And Valpo had 1. And Falcons also added another one early on. Washington's got space. Or that was White. To Washington, to Jacob. Jacob's got someone on her back. She's going to stall up, look to Ruber. Ruber's going to cross this ball in from the right. And headed right to Washington on her right foot. She's going to bobble it to the goalie and goalie gets to it. And it'll be a save for Henkel. And Valpo gets possession here on the far side of the field. And they're going to try to get it past midfield as they can't. And it'll be a Falcon throw-in. And the ball will go all the way deep into the Falcon territory. Hudson's got time, and she'll start taking it up the field, and she's going to pass it short to Jacob. Jacob back to Hudson as Valpo puts some pressure on Duvey. Now has time. She's going to get pressured, and she's going to turn this over. And this could be an opportunity here for Valpo, but good defense there by Miller to Barnes. Back to Miller. Miller's going to get this ball up to Cox. That's Nikki Cox on the near side. Nikki Cox has White going down the middle. White looking for it, and it'll be what a save by Henkel, as Henkel dove out to save it, and Valpo stays within 1.
Good opportunity there for the Falcons. Great pass from Nikki Cox to the middle, but the goalie just was able to keep it out of the net.
And Miller's just going to put too much on that ball as Barnes tried to get on the outside. And it's a quick substitution here. Only 3 minutes in for Valpo, and they have a throw in deep in their own territory. And it will go off of Miller, and she, a little shaken up on that, turns around, says okay, and moves on. Another Valpo throw-in. And it'll be right to Cox to Miller. Miller looks fine, and Jacob will turn around, find Kennedy. Kennedy thought to go to Barnes, but she's going to look on the down the middle for White. White's onside, but no, she cannot get to that ball quick enough. And it's going to be quickly thrown out by the Crusaders, but intercepted by Ruber. Ruber's got scrolling down the far side of the field over to Nikki Cox, who couldn't corral it, but it's turned right back to Jacob in the center. Jacob tackled, could be a counterattack coming for the Crusaders. And it's going to be a slow, not enough oomph on that pass by the Crusaders as they have one-on-one on the outside. Barnes playing some good hold D, and Barnes is shoved down, no call. It'll be a goal kick, as you could clearly see from our angle, the Crusader put an elbow into Barnes' back.
Yeah, Sarah Welsh and Sophia Barnes tangled up there on the play, but Bowling Green's going to get possession as Kathleen Doobie is going to get to take a goal kick.
And it looks like it's Kennedy holding on the short just in case. Nice big kick by Doovie, headed down right to a Crusader, but turned back to Alexis Miller, who's going to try to get it to Barnes. Chests it down, gets it back to Kennedy. Falcons will reset. 40 left in the second half. Falcons can't get it out of the zone. Barnes tries to get it out, doesn't, and it's going to be a cross incoming for the Crusaders, blocked by Sophie Barnes. It'll be a throw-in for the Crusaders. And it'll be headed away, and it's going to be White finding, I believe that's Miller in the middle, tries to find Kennedy. Kennedy is running out of time. She gets it out. Cox to White to Washington. Washington's going to cut in, and she's got time. She's got space. She slows down, holds him up, and oh, a beautiful idea as she couldn't get the ball through to Nikki Cox. And streaking on the outside is a Valpo Crusader. Crusader's going to get to it. Good play by Hudson to keep her from passing, but she'll get through anyways. Now she has to get past Jacob, and it's going to be turned over right to Miller. Right back to Jacob. And Jacobs is going to turn it over. Little sloppy-ish play coming by the Falcons, and that's going to be a shot on goal, it looks like, for the Crusaders, their first of the game. As Doovie's going to roll it quickly out to Kennedy. Kennedy's going to see Barnes on the near side. Barnes is going to get it right back in the middle to Hudson. Hudson back to Doovie, and it could have been trouble there, as Doovie's just going to have to clear this ball out of play. And it will stay in play. And the Crusaders will maintain possession. And stopped. Hudson gets it. White could get to this, but it's going to be right to Nikki Cox. Cox to White. White back to Cox. Katie Cox to Nikki Cox. No, sir, can do. And the Falcons playing 6 shots to nothing. They did not count that shot as a shot on goal for the Crusaders. Turned over Miller. Miller with it. She's going to get play on, as they say. Counterattack for the Crusaders. And turned right back over to the Falcons. And Hudson now with it. is going to get this ball up, and it's going to be a nice tackle. Oh, they're going to call a foul. Valpo with the foul. Nikki Cox draws it. No, Katie Cox drew it. It's hard. Both Katie Cox wears number 8, and Nikki Cox wears number 9, so it's hard to tell who's where.
Especially when basically, besides numbers, the only thing we have to tell them apart is the color of their hairband.
Yep.
And it's getting kind of dark out, so it's getting difficult to
lights,
see out there.
Yes, lights are on here at the Cochrane Stadium. Attendance, I believe, hit the 400 mark, maybe, give or take, couple people. And it'll be Ruber at the corner of the box, gets it back, tries to get it back to the center, and headed out of play by Valpo into open space. Hudson's got time. Hudson on her right foot is going to turn it over. And, Hudson gets megged. And that's never a good sign. And Barnes tries to bail her out. They're going to rule her offsides, as Barnes does a really good job of drawing the offsides, of pulling that offsides trap, holding that line.
One thing I will say is so far this half, Valpo, they have been able to loosen up the BG defense more than they were in the first half. They're creating a couple more opportunities for themselves as compared to the first half. But BG really needs to tighten back up and use the hustle plays like they did in the first half to keep possession of the ball on their own end.
Duvey taking the free kick. An indirect one. It's going to be delivered right to Washington, and it's going to be clearly offsides by Nikki Cox. She was clearly offsides. But she then puts the ball in the top right corner of the box. Beautiful play shot, but no goal.
Just a little extra touch on the offsides.
Offsides. And that ball's up. It's going to be headed down by Kennedy right to Katie Cox. Katie Cox trying to get to that ball, and she's going to pull up, hit Ruber. Ruber streaking on the right side. Tries to get it down off of a Valpo player, though, for a Falcon throw-in. And it'll be a corner kick for the Falcons. And it looks like it's going to be Alexis Miller-Cohen to take the kick.
Corner kick, Bowling Green.
And the kick. And it looks good. Might be, it's no good. It was a nice corner kick.
Again, Chelsea Washington in the middle there gets ahead on the ball, just wasn't able to get it into the net.
Update on the Bowling Green men's score. A penalty kick missed by the Falcons in the 49th minute of the game. Still up 1-0 are the Falcon male squad. And that's Ruber on the outside trying to find Miller. Or it wasn't Ruber, it was Nikki Cox. Finds Jacobs in the middle, and now Kennedy's on her left foot. She can cross this ball in. She'll give right back to Jacobs. The smart play, maintain possession here. And Miller almost trips over the ball, but she turns it over anyways. And good play by Hudson to stop that breakaway from happening. And Kennedy will just toe this ball out right to a Valpo player, but turned over. And it's going to be Miller looking to cross this in. And she's got Washington in the box. And that could have been a handball, it looked like. But Washington does a good job of trying to force this. And it'll be a throw-in for Sophie Barnes and the Falcons.
No. Right ball, right.
And fans not happy about this call as Chelsea Washington's going to see the bench for the first time in the game. And that'll be Mackenzie Ortman, the freshman out of Sylvania, as Barnes will have the throw-in. And she's going to find, that's Katie Cox. Katie Cox fouled hard.
That's a run.
And Miller and Kennedy talking about who's taking the kick. Kennedy's going to take it, and they're going to set up.
26 is taking this kick.
And Kennedy's going to get this ball in, and it looks good. And headed out of play by Valpo right to Cox. Blocked, and White's shot was blocked. And ball's going to go out of play. Falcon throw in. Good job by Katie Cox to force the ball outside.
Another great opportunity for the Falcons. However, the Crusaders were able to lock down defense when they needed the most.
And Ruber's got space on the far side. She's got a lot of space. And she's going to hit the ball low shot. Shot on goal with some power on it was Mackenzie Ruber. And it'll be caught by the goalie for a punt or throw. Punt it is. Valpo. Barnes gets her back on it right to Zoe Hudson. And Hudson is going to get it to Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox fights through the Valpo defender. Referee play on. Finds, tries to find her sister. She can't. And Ruber's going to come up with the tackle. Ruber some fancy footwork. Inside, outside shimmy. And Ruber's crossing that in. It could be on net. And it goes through the goalie. Not goal. And it will go out of play as the goalie gets to it. It'll be a Bowling Green throw-in. Good play there by Mackenzie Ruber, the sophomore. And nice pass. White's got a chance here. Looks, finds Miller. Miller's got time. She's going to bomb this in. Blocked by number 26 for Valpo in Maria Brocker. Valpo substitution is going to be coming shortly. And Bowling Green on the attack now. And Katie Cox, I believe, on the outside. It will be a corner kick for the Falcons. And in to take it is Alexis Miller. And short kick, it was blocked. Barnes finds Katie Cox. Katie Cox, a nice outside into the box it goes. Blocked. Jacobs couldn't get to it in time. And Valpo will get to the ball. It'll go out of play. Falcon throw in. And Kennedy tags back to the defensive line for Barnes. It's gotten dark out. Flashlights are coming out here in the press box. And it'll be a Valpo throw-in.
Substitution into the game for Valpo. Number 31, Madison Tillman. In the game for 19, Emily.
So Tuma's going to come back in here for the Crusaders.
And it'll be thrown in. Falcons get possession back. They're going to say foul on Valpo. Free kick for Bowling Green.
I mentioned earlier how they had to lock down and start playing like they did in the first half, and they must have said, okay, go, because they're back on it. They're on top of their game again.
Yes. Maybe it takes a little bit. Duquesne in the men's game has tied it up 1-1. Falcons and Duquesne. I lived in Pittsburgh for 12 years, and I can't remember what the Duquesne nickname or their mascot was. Meanwhile, it's going to be White with the ball. Finds Barnes back, and Barnes is going to get clean tackle, and she's slow to get up. And it'll be hit right back to White. Barnes stays on the outside up top. And it'll be blocked by Valpo. Kennedy swing and miss. This could be an opportunity here coming for Valpo. And if Hudson can get there, she could clear this out, and she will clear it. Falcons can reset. And Valpo taking the throw. And the ball will stay in bounds at the goal line. And Valpo into the box. And clearing it is, I believe that's Ruber or Miller. It was Miller clearing it. Valpo dominating, and that's going to be a foul called on Ruber. Just a talking. No card issued. Falcons have yet to receive a card this year. In both games, however, there has been a card awarded to the opposing team. So one of the Kentucky players got a yellow, and one of the Xavier players got a yellow. But no cards or cautions for any of the Falcons so far this season.
Discipline. It all comes back to what Fannin has taught the team in practice and what he tells them every day on a consistent basis. And being disciplined is obviously a big part of the game.
And the free kick's off. This could be an opportunity here for Valpo, and it's going to be saved. And Kennedy is going to do a good job of creating the goal kick. She kicked it off of the defender, or off of the Valpo player for a goal kick. Falcons can have a chance to clear it. And it looks like Kristen Tveit will be checking in shortly. Duvey to Hudson, and the ball, they're just going to collapse on Hudson and create the turnover as Valpo. Good play by Valpo. And an opportunity coming for Valpo, blocked. And Duvey will just pick this ball up eventually once pressure is applied. And they're going to find Ruber on the outside. Ruber's going to have to turn on the jets to get past, and she will. Ruber's got some space now and turns it over, though. Falcons turn it over again. And it's going to be turned over. Barnes intercepts. Barnes on her right foot. She's going to get this ball up to White. And White couldn't find it in the air. And Katie Cox on the near side. Barnes tries Kennedy. Kennedy, one of the senior leaders on this team. And Kennedy finds Cox. Katie Cox tries to get White. White's got long legs. She may get to this first. She won't. And it'll be right offsides called on Valpo. And Kennedy's going to be taking this kick. And 25 flat left in the second half. Falcons still up 1-0. 7 shots on goal, 7 corner kicks for the Falcons. The only 7 that's not on the side for the Falcons is the score. It could be 7-0 though, the way the Falcons have been playing this game.
I mean, they've just dominated for a large part of this ball game, and that's what they're doing right now is they push the ball back into their own end.
I stand corrected. There's 8 corners now as the Falcons get a corner kick. Ruber created an opportunity, and it was kicked out of play past the goal line. Substitution, it will be Kristen Tveit coming into the game for Mackenzie Ruber, who created that opportunity. And like I mentioned, corner kick for the Falcons. And it's going to be Miller. Looks like Miller's going to be taking this kick. And that ball looks good. It might be. It's goal! They score. It's going to be the tall number 4, Kennedy White. Her first career goal, or her second goal on the season. And we'll get this replay going. I believe it was headed in.
Great play there, great execution, and that's what we talked about earlier, converting on opportunities, and that's what they were able to do right there.
And yes, it was White, her second of the season, and Valpo now trailing 2-0. And the goalie tried her best to get her hand on that. She did get a hand on it, just pumped it twice right into the back of the net. And again, like I mentioned earlier, Kenny White does remind me a little of Skylar Fleek from a couple years ago. Fleek, of course, was a 6-foot, as the shirt almost found its way in the press box, 6-foot tall forward for the Falcons. She's, I believe, 4th all-time in Falcon goals scored. 3 games, 2 goals. That's a way to start for her career as a Falcon in Kennedy White.
And that's what you call coming in and making an impact right off the bat.
And Kennedy will get the ball back. Falcons can breathe a little. And it's going to be, and they'll give the assist to Miller, who delivered the corner kicks. So the Falcons finally deliver on one of their 8 corner kicks.
And now the score gets a little closer to actually telling the story of the ball game.
Yes. Falcons get the ball in possession. Hudson now with it. Hudson finds Miller. Miller picks up the assist on that most recent goal by White. And Katie Cox does a good job pressuring that ball. It'll be a Falcon throw-in right at midfield, and a substitution's coming. It looks like Dolph is coming in for the Falcons, pushing some of the Falcons to shift positions. Nikita Jacobs checks out of the game. And Tvite's going to try to send this. She sends it not into the box. Turned over to Valpo. And Valpo's got an opportunity here as they have some numbers coming up. Barnes, good job of playing defense, gets the ball out. It'll be a Valpo throw-in midway into Falcon territory with 22 minutes remaining in the second half. Falcons up 2-0. And getting to that ball will be Ortman. Another Valpo throw-in in the territory of the Falcons. And looks like a cross to be coming in. Blocked at the chest by Barnes. And it'll be another throw-in deep in Falcon territory. And that ball's thrown in. And here's a chance coming for Valpo. Cleared it out as Barnes. But right to Valpo. So they're going to head it right back into the box. And Kennedy got up. And it's going to be White's. The ball's going to end up on White's foot. She tried to send Nikki Cox, on a run, but couldn't get the ball out in time. So I had to reset. And that's going to be White down low, resetting back into her position, got that ball to Kennedy. Kennedy's got a left foot, and you know that. Back in the championship game last year, she delivered a cross into the area for a Falcon goal. And Falcons really trying to play possession now. 20:35 left in the second half. Falcons looking for their first win.
Hudson's going to pass the ball over to the middle, and Dewey's going to get it back, and she's going to go back out to Morgan Kennedy.
Maureen Kennedy has got some time. No one's pressuring her, so she may hold on to that ball, and she's going to chip it right over her to Barnes. They may play catch here, and that's what they'll do. Barnes will just pull back and give it right back to Kennedy. She's going to hold on to it until she gets pressured. Cox right back to Kennedy. And Kennedy's finally going to get it off to Katie Cox, or that's Tvite on the outside, but couldn't find her foot. And it'll be a Valpo throw-in. Valpo throw right to Miller. Miller's going to hold it for a second, find Tvite, and off to Katie Cox. Katie Cox tackled. And good tackle there by Zoe Hudson as she collided, it looks like, with one of the Valpo players, and the Valpo player's slow to get up.
Lost a little bit of wind on some contact there.
Yeah. And they may stop the clock here, and they're going to stop the clock with 19:10 left for a little injury timeout.
19 shots for Bowling Green right now. 7 of them on goal.
Substitution attention to each personal Valpo, number 24, Lauren Yoder, and number 12, Sierra Wells.
And
And for the Falcons, number 23, Lindsay Scott.
play resumes. Lindsay spots in, and a foul is going to be called. Looks like the foul was on, I don't know.
I'm looking at the roster. You can't do that to me. You can't just hit me with the I don't know.
Oh no, it's hard without. Maybe I do need glasses. And it'll be headed up in the air. And Valpo's got an opportunity here as they tow it out of play for a shot, but not a shot on goal. Valpo's still without a shot on goal in the game. Falcons with 8 of them.
Number 12, Sarah Allen, for number 4, Kennedy White.
And there's White's family in attendance tonight.
Sarah Allen back into the game for the Falcons.
Of course, White coming from Canton, Michigan. No idea of how close that is to Bowling Green. Of course, not being from the area. And meanwhile, Valpo in possession here. And they're going to get a chance to cross this ball in, and it'll be blocked. It'll be a corner kick coming for Valpo. And they don't know who's taking it. It's going to be number 24 for Valpo taking the kick. And Lauren Yoder.
Who just checked into the game.
There you go. Sometimes substitutes can do some work for you.
Getting opportunities.
Oh, and that's a really nice corner. It'll be caught right by Kathleen Duvey. And Duvey's going to slow it down here. She had Ortman, and Ortman's got some time. She's got space. She's going to send Allen. Allen's got chance here. Allen can't get around the defender. And she's going to get to that ball first, though. And she's by herself, gets around, shields the ball, finds Tveit. Tveit's going to cross that ball in low, and it'll be blocked. Tveit's going to fight to get it back, and she will. Over to Katie Cox. Katie Cox gets around the defender. Cox cross is blocked. It'll be a corner kick for the Falcons and Alexis Miller.
Corner kick, Bowling Green.
And, of course, White's out of the game. And the 9th corner kick of the night by Miller. It's going to be nice. It'll be headed off the post, maybe.
I think it hit a couple bodies on the way out.
And it's going to be another corner kick. Substitution, it's going to be Ruby Linton checking into the game, it looks like. Shortly, as Miller had to...
Corner kick, Bowling Green.
And Miller with the corner kick. Ball's up. And it's deep into the box. Headed right to Allen. Over the goal. It'll be a goal kick.
Good shot there.
Substitution into the game for the Falcons, number 10, Ruby Linton.
Linton in for Katie Cox. Score update for BG men's soccer. Falcons and the Dukes are tied up at 1. Headed down by, I believe that's Hannah Dolphus. And Barnes with the throw-in. And it will end up on Dolphus's foot. And she's going to be shoved to the ground. Nothing called. Oh, no, that was Spots who was jungled down to the ground. And that's going to be a foul called on Alexis Miller.
14:28 to go here in the second half. BG does lead 2-0 if you just joined us.
Hudson gets her first touch on that, but turns it over. And Linton's going to get a foul called on her. And it looks like next stoppage, Washington will be checking back into the game. They're going to set up, it looks like, a four-man wall. As this is a golden opportunity here for Valpo. About 30 yards out. Shot on goal, blocked by the wall. Another shot blocked again by the Falcons. Still no shot on goal. High ball, and it's going to be headed backwards, and Barnes will get it out. And that was a little dangerous of a play there by one of the Valpo players, and Valpo will have to retreat, and they're just going to get this ball deep into Falcon territory. Man on Kennedy, and Kennedy's just going to have to get this ball right back up, and it's going to be stopped by Ortman to Hudson. Hudson to Linton. Linton gets it to Dolphus. And turned over. Good tackle there by Valpo. And number 24 for Valpo. And Yoder is going to get this, and that's going to be a stop. I don't know if shot, save, shot on goal. It's going to end up to Kathleen Duvey in the end.
Regardless.
Yeah, regardless. It's with 12:20 left, she's going to roll this out to Kennedy. Kennedy has some time. She's going to look it right back to Kathleen Duvey. And Duvey is looking up field, and she's going to try to get it all the way down to Ortman. Ortman back to Miller to Kennedy. Almost turned over in a could have been costly, but it's going to end up on Ruby Linton. It's Falcons got numbers, actually. It's 5-on-4. And it's going to go into the box a little too far for Sarah Allen. 11:45 left in this game. Falcons 2. Crusaders nothing. And that ball will be not touched as it will go out of play for a Falcon throw-in.
We're going to get some substitutions here. It looks like Chelsea Washington finally will come back into the game, and that is for number 27, Alexis Miller. So BG does have possession of the ball as they throw it in down near their own bench. Sarah Allen is going to have the ball right off the inbound. And so now we're going to get another throw in. BG's going to get the throw in again, and Maureen Kennedy's going to come over to the other side of the field to throw it in. It looks like it's going to be a free kick, actually. Trying to get some action here on BG. Kennedy kicks the ball, finds Chelsea Washington. Battle for the ball between Chelsea Washington and the Crusader. Chelsea Washington is going to find Lindsay Spots on the outside. Spots looks to make something happen, gets it back over to the middle. Crusader block inside the box. Ball's going to find its way out to Sophia Barnes, who's going to look back to Zoe Hudson. Hudson's got a little bit of room. She's going to give back Sophia Barnes. Barnes is going to take it up the field, looking for a teammate. Has a teammate, but she's going to kick it in deep, and that's going to end up in the hands of the goalkeeper from Valparaiso. Goal kick is up. Off the head of BG, Lindsay Spott's going to make an aggressive move towards the ball, finds Chelsea Washington. Chelsea Washington's going to push it back to Maureen Kennedy. Kennedy over to Hudson. Hudson back to Washington, who passes it back to Kennedy as they move it around their little triangle. Turnover there. Valparaiso on the run. Good defense there by Bowling Green. Forces an out of bounds. It will be a throw-in for Valparaiso. 2 subs coming in for Valpo. Welch and Noel, or Welch and Yoder will come back in. Hansen will throw it in. Hansen does find a teammate after a battle for the ball. Good shot there inside, however BG will find it. Chelsea Washington sends it back out. It's going to be throw. Lindsay Spots tries to hurry it up there for the Falcons, but they rule Crusaders ball. Hansen will throw back in again. Good effort there by Washington to keep the ball. Sarah Allen finds it, gives it back to Washington. Washington trying to find her way through the middle. But there is going to be a foul called, and the Crusaders will keep possession. 8 minutes remaining here in the second half of this game. BG leads 2-0. Nice kick there from the Crusaders. Inside, Zoe Hudson gets a piece of it, but falls backwards as she's going for the ball.
Corner kick coming for the Crusaders. And corner kick coming for Valpo. And it'll be low kick.
You just like these pictures back here. Is this why you stand up here?
What?
Getting in the picture.
Oh, I had no idea. He's referenced earlier in the broadcast. I photobombed someone's Snapchat picture. Gave him a thumbs up when it happened. Moved on. 7:15 left in the second half here. Falcons up 2-0.
Duvey's going to send the ball back into play here.
Nice kick there by Duvey. It's going to go to Washington. Turned over. Valpo has got a chance. Duvey's going to come out and grab this.
On those kind of plays, it's almost like Chelsea Washington's a magnet for the ball.
She's a center midfielder. Center midfielders get the ball the most, I would say, because they're up and down in the center.
Chelsea Washington, a very good playmaker, and she's a very key asset to the team, like you touched on earlier.
And is it onside for Linton? And that's going to be a goal. Oh, no goal. Oh, from my angle. That looked like a goal.
I think that was Lindsay Spots, actually. We'll take a look here at the replay as it comes back around, but that was close. That was just to the left.
Corner kick, Bowling Green.
So Bowling Green will corner kick here from the west side of the stadium.
Near side, it looks like it's Linton taking the kick. Beautiful kick, and it will be headed out of play, as that was Washington.
Wow.
Actually, that may have been Sarah Allen with that big kick. And goal kick, 5:35 left. And Spots has got an opportunity here. Nope, gonna get it. Washington, magnet for the ball, gets that. And she's gonna be fouled hard. And that'll be a free kick. And by the time this kick is taken, there will be less than 5 minutes in the game. With 5:20 left. Falcons are probably going to try to take as long as the time as they can. They're going to try to aim for 45 seconds of stalling here.
They fought hard. They're ready to get out of here with the win. You're right. No hurry at all there, but Chelsea Washington does set up the ball. Comes in motion, kicks it into the center on the grounds.
And it'll be a corner kick. Oh, I thought that looked like a corner kick to me. It'll be a goal kick for Valpo.
Chelsea Washington looking for Sarah Allen there on the run. Just couldn't execute. Good defense there by the Crusaders. Goal kick coming, going to be pushed out. Spots finds Washington with the ball off of the goal kick. Barnes with the ball now. Going to kick it out to
Lauren Milner.
Who finds Chelsea Washington after a brief turnaround.
Oh, and that's going to be a breakaway coming for Lindsay Spots. And that could be a handball. And Spots a little slow to get up. Checking for blood. No blood, so we're good to go. And kicks off. Valpo trying to hurry it up. 3:33 left. BG sub going to be coming shortly, so that means the clock will stop whenever BG makes the sub. Any team makes a sub at less than 5 minutes left. Clock stops. Washington trying to get it up to the middle, and it's going to be controlled there by Milner.
Milner back. She's going to kick it back to Kathleen Duvey.
And Duvey's just going to bomb this up. And it's going to be, no one's going to get to it. Washington could get to this first. She won't. And they'll make the substitution.
Clock will stop at 2:53 while the substitution occurs. Barnes set to inbound here for the Falcons.
2:53 on the stopped clock.
Barnes looking at Washington. Barnes. It's going to be coming in again.
BG throw-in for Sophie Barnes. She's going to find Chelsea Washington, and 3 Crusaders converge on her. And they're going to say play on as Ruby Linton gets to this ball into the box. She's going to trip and fall. I don't think there was any contact. Spots gets it to Washington in the center, who turns it over. And Valpo, if Valpo gets to this could be an opportunity for them. And they do, 3-on-3 coming down. But halted by Ortman. 2:14 left. BG throw. Looks like the Falcons, if they can get this ball out of here or maintain possession for another minute, I think this game's over.
I'm going to have to agree with you there, but again, the hustle on defense has really, for BG, it's worked really well. It's stopped the runs that Valpo has been able to muster, and Duvey's going to put it back into BG Falcon territory, almost.
Ooh, that's a hard foul on Linton. Linton fouls someone. And 1:37 left. I don't know. That was actually stalled a couple seconds.
Valpo's going to try to get something going here with under 90 seconds remaining. Good kick in. But Lindsay Spots finds the ball. Gets it out of there.
Turned over. 1:10 left. And Falcons will get the ball back.
1 minute remaining.
And if the Falcons clear this ball out, there's
Taking their time here on
yeah,
this
they got to
throw-in.
throw this.
Hudson.
And that ball will go out of play for a Crusader throw in. 40 seconds left. And that'll do it. 82 minutes in Pittsburgh as the Dukes and the Falcons are still knotted up at 1.
Valpo tries to get it into the middle here. They do, but good defense by the Falcons to retake possession of the ball.
And that looks like it'll do it as Sophie Barnes just gets it out. 15 seconds. Falcons turn it over. Valpo giving it their all, though.
Playing the full 90.
And that'll do it. Falcons will move to 1-1-1 on the season. Goals by Maureen Kennedy and Kennedy White. So Maureen Kennedy White
We got Kennedy goals either way you put it here tonight. But, I mean, the real story for Bowling Green was the hustle plays and capitalizing on opportunities. They got lots of opportunities tonight, and what they were able to do well was capitalize on some of those opportunities, and that's what led them to the victory, along with the hustle defense. They really supported their offense well by not allowing Valpo to get any chances on offense. So great job by BG all the way around to be able to capitalize and get a win tonight. So they will get their first win of the season, and I believe they will move to 1-1-1 now as they continue on. And coming up will be their next game, which I believe is
Valpo on Sunday. If you're a Valpo fan, they will travel to Wright State. Wright State won their first 2 games in the Horizon Conference. The Falcons will have this weekend off for Labor Day, and their next matchup will be here at Cochrane Stadium, also featured on WBGU against Dayton. And then they will travel to Michigan and Michigan State, starting a 4-game road trip and then going to DePaul and then West Virginia to conclude their non-conference schedule. So then they will open conference play against Akron here at home.
So big teams coming up again, really, for the Falcons, going to 2 Big Ten schools as well as a Big 12 school with Michigan, Michigan State, and West Virginia.
And with that, we're going to step aside here for a quick break. If you want to tune into the post-game show, feel free to tune into Mixler.com. Mixler.com/BGRSO-WFAL, as I am not sure how long the YouTube stream will be up for. Okay, yes, they are cutting it, so if you want to tune into postgame, please feel free to go to Mixler.com/BGRSO-WFAL.